What's the word? What's the word? Microphone check. Tap on in with your boy. It's time. Yes, sir. We in the building. Let me see what's up. What's up? What's up? You guys see everything on the screen, man. So you already know what time it is. Sunday. We're giving you the Sunday morning service. Well, Sunday evening, man, because a lot of you guys are on the East Coast and it's already, you know what I mean, 2 p.m. Out east. But if you're on the West Coast, it's 11, 12 a.m. So technically it's still morning time, even though it's almost noon out here on the West Coast. So let's go. So we're gonna break down some of these things we're gonna break down a lot of things that's been said on different platforms. So you already know. The lead attorney spoke on this situation. Uh, a lot of people spoke on this situation. So we're gonna break this down. I'm going to show you how phony Anton Daniels is, even though a lot of you guys already know. You already know if you got common sense. If your antennas work properly, then you can see the phoniness in Anton Daniels. See, Anton is the type of person that hides behind his money and YouTube success. Now you got this woman by the name of Messi Michon. I forget her name. She used to be a model on Red Supreme TV1. Let me tell you something, lady. The only reason that you're cool with Anton is because of his YouTube fame. Because if you was judging him based on his character, you wouldn't rock with him. And I'm gonna give you several examples of why you wouldn't rock with him if you consider yourself to be real. First of all, let me break this down. She asked Anton a question, right, on her show this morning. And she asked him about Red Supreme. He said, Who? Dude, you didn't took shots. You had my channel flag. You're gonna say that you didn't do it. But we already know that Anton is a liar. He's a phony. He's a hypocrite. Now, when this woman asked Anton Daniels, did he flag my channel? He said, who is that? Like he don't know who I am. Then he says, well, if a person ain't got a certain amount of subscribers, I don't listen. As a matter of fact, I don't listen to jailbirds. Let me show you how phony this dude is. He said he don't listen to me because I'm a jailbird, right? I've never been to jail for anything bogus. I've never been to jail for something that's dishonorable. He said he don't listen to jailbirds, but he had a whole sex offender on his channel. And to take it a step further, he said that Fleece Johnson is his dog. You see how phony this dude is, though? So he said he don't listen to me because I'm a jailbird. But you platform a sexual predator like Fleece Johnson. Then you went on to say that Fleece Johnson was your homeboy. If that ain't phony, I don't know what is. Let me tell you something, Messi. You did a terrible job in that interview. You did a terrible job in that interview. That only lets me know that you're a fan of Anton Daniels, and you can be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of. If you was a real interviewer, you know what you would have said, Messi? You would have said, well, how can you have a problem with Red Supreme? How could you say you don't listen to jailbirds when you platform a sexual predator? Fleece Johnson's whole claim to fame is taking advantage of weak men sexually in the penitentiary. That's his whole claim to fame. But Anton claims that he don't listen to jailbirds, but you platform a sex offender. And then to take it a step further, he said, Fleece Johnson is my homeboy. Fleece Johnson is my dog. But hold on, you just said you don't listen to people who've been to jail. You don't listen to people who've been to jail, but you platform a sex offender, a sexual predator. You did a terrible job in that interview, Messi. Because if you was being real, you would have called out Anton's hypocrisy. Calling out Anton's hypocrisy is so easy. It's clear as looking out of the window to see his blatant hypocrisy. She could have easily said, hold on, Anton, that don't make sense. You can't say that you don't listen to jailbirds, but you platform a Fleece Johnson, the same man who was flirting with you during the whole interview. So it's clear to see that you do listen to jailbirds. It's clear to see that you do platform sexual predators and sex offenders. So messy, you're just being messy. The whole interview, you was glazing Anton, not asking them hard questions. Listen, she threw softball questions at him and never held him accountable for his hypocrisy. Fleece Johnson is a whole convict and a sexual predator. But Anton, according to Anton, I don't listen to jailbirds. That is fake. That is phony. 100%. And let me tell you something, Messi. If you was a real interviewer, you would have held him accountable for being phony. You would have held him accountable for being a hypocrite. But you failed to do that. You failed to do that. And I ain't got no problems with you. I'm just being honest with you, just like everybody else should. Anybody who watched that interview should have said, hold on, Messi, you ain't being a real interviewer. You're not calling out Anton for his blatant hypocrisy. I don't even listen to jailbirds. But you platform a sexual predator like Fleece Johnson, a sex offender like Fleece Johnson. And that's your homeboy, but you don't listen to jailbirds. Wow. Anyway, let's get into this clip. I can't stand phoniness, man. One thing I cannot stand is phoniness.
All this feminism and shit. Why ain't y'all got nothing to say? So y'all all good with it, but you over there cutting for that white woman down there in Minneapolis? Y'all cutting for her. But you ain't got nothing to say about this.
Real FBA people ain't out there caping for no Minneapolis white woman. You know, those are liberal Democrats. And FBA, we're not real FBA people are not liberal Democrats. We understand that is counterproductive. So yeah, call out those people.
Your child.
All day on YouTube. That is a full-time job. Weeks have been weeks.
Oh, maybe that's not Blockbuster. I think that might have been a different movie theater. But in some in some places where you went to get videos, there was a section in the back. Allegedly. I don't know. I just heard. Anyway, so this is O'Shea, y'all. It says, why Anton Daniels is the new Tommy Sotomayor. Wow. Anton is now the new Tommy Sotomayor.
He is. Anton ain't nothing but a polished version of Tommy Sotomayor. That's all he is. He's a polished version of Tommy Sotomayor. That's all he is. He speaks negative about the black community while glazing the white community. When Messi asked Anton a question, well, Anton said, I don't force anybody to, I don't let anybody tell me what I got to talk about. That's fake, because if you're on an interview, you should be willing to answer anything. You know what Anton told Messi in his interview? He said, ask me anything. So when Corey asked him, how come he never talks about white men? You know what Anton said? Next question. Because Anton's too afraid to hold the white conservative male accountable. He's not going to do it. He's a fake. He's a phony. He's a fraud. And Messi, you did a terrible job interviewing Anton. You did a terrible job. You never called out his hypocrisy. You never called him out for anything. You threw softball questions at him. The moment he said, oh, but I don't have to answer something where you being phony. He just told you can ask him anything. So apparently he didn't want Corey Holcomb to ask him anything. Because when Corey asked him, how come he never talks about the white man? Anton dodged the question. He dodged the question. He didn't want to speak about it. He changed the subject. So what he did to avoid the question is, well, Corey, you a D-sucker. He called Corey a D-sucker. That was his way of avoiding that question that Corey asked him about the white man. So clearly he tap danced around the whole question. But of course, I'm not going to expect Messi to hold him accountable for being a hypocrite.
Who knew? Come on.
Weeks have been incredible on YouTube. It's a really
Corey Holcomb makes fun of everybody. He's a comedian. He makes fun of cake-ass black men, black women, white people. Corey is an equal opportunity smoke giver, unlike Anton Daniels. Corey makes fun of everybody. If you the butt of the joke, you the butt of the joke, Corey gonna roast you. Your color don't matter at that point. And if you watch Corey Holcomb enough, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying is true. It's facts.
interesting way to open up 2026. And when we're talking about open up 2026, obviously the biggest thing that we've been talking about so far is this beef between Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. And for this video, I want to focus.
Matter of fact, we're not gonna go there. Let's go to the part where Anton comes. I want y'all to
somebody saying that.
I want y'all to hear all this fake stuff. How she threw these old weak ass softball questions at Anton.
Just a woman. Shout out to
these old weak softball questions.
I'm not the thug. because I don't like being muted. I don't like being any of that. So I'd rather go in person because I can actually, you know what I'm saying, interact with person, because I think that communication is more than just what you say. It's the body language. It's all of that.
Yep, and you said that too. So, then all that happened, and then everybody's waiting for the 5150 to come on, right? Excuse me. And I watched that. Of course, we streamed all that too, and I'm for it. Like, I'm a content creator. I was part of TLA's mastermind. You know, so I got all.
TLA. Yeah, TLA is he's done really, really well for himself. I love the lane that he's carved for himself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I always will give him props. But my issue, which everyone else is just like, oh my God. I'm like, child, did y'all not see that man bring a whole ass minor up on his on internet and say things that are inappropriate?
And another reason why this interview was phony and Messi never held him accountable. How can Anton call out degenerate culture, but you platform a sexual deviant, a sexual predator, but you claim to be against degeneracy? Oh, I get it. You knew you can make money. So your Christian morals and values don't matter as long as you can make money. Listen, if you find a real conservative Christian man, they're not going to platform a Fleece Johnson. Why? Because it goes against their Christian morals and values. Anton is a hypocrite and a fake Christian, and his sexuality is in question. All you got to do is look at that Fleece Johnson interview. You're going to say, damn, I see what you're saying. His sexuality is in question. So his sexuality is in question. He polished Fleece Johnson's Johnson verbally. He claims to be a Christian, but he platforms a sexual predator like Fleece. He said that he don't listen to jailbirds, but he platformed a jailbird / sexual predator. So everything about this dude is fake and phony. He don't stand for nothing. Let me tell y'all something. These people are cool with Anton because of his money and his YouTube fame and success. They're fake. They're phony. If Anton didn't have the money that he has, you would see way more people calling him. Matter of fact, a lot of people wouldn't even be talking about him. The only reason you're talking about him because black people are groupies for money. Black people are willing to look past any bad behavior as long as you got money. What does Anton Daniels do? He do bullshit and he hides behind his money. Anytime you hold him accountable for something, well, I have more subscribers, I have money, so it doesn't matter. Anton, why you let Fleece Johnson flirt with you like that? I have money, so it doesn't matter. I made a ton of money from the interview. So he's going to use his money to deflect from the real question. Cowards like Anton hide behind their money and success to avoid real questions.
I was like,
well, I could tell you why that is. That's not about me. Listen. I'm gonna give it to you, Michonne. Is it Michonne?
A real Christian would never platform a sexual predator like Fleece Johnson. Anton is a fake Christian. Money comes before his morals and his Christian values. 100%. He's fake. And if you can't see that he's fake, maybe you agree with him because maybe you're fake just like him. It's not hard to see how phony Anton Daniels really is.
I'm sorry. I want to make sure I pronounce your name correctly.
It's Michonne.
Michonne. I'm sorry. Let me tell you what's happening, Michonne.
You call me Messy.
All right, Messy. Let me tell you what's really happening.
It's amazing.
It's not me. It has nothing to do with me. They hate it's several different things. The first thing is that they hate what I represent because I don't.
No, real people realize you're phony. I don't hate you. I'm calling you out for being phony. I'm not that invested in you, dude, but I will call you out for your blatant hypocrisy. And then Messi got the nerve to say why everybody hates Anton. This woman is clearly being messy. She's not even asking this dude real questions. She not once did she hold him accountable for being a hypocrite. Not once. So nobody hates Anton. We're calling Anton Daniels out for being a fake Christian. And he stands on these fake morals and values. When money, all you got to do is give this dude a certain amount of money. He'll forget all about his Christian morals and values. The Fleece Johnson interview proves everything that I'm saying. I don't listen to jailbirds, but I platform a sexual predator like Fleece Johnson. Oh, Mr. Potato Head looking ass.
A person that wasn't supposed to make it. Then I flew to LA, and then I stayed over in Vegas for 3 days, and then I flew back to Los Angeles to do 5150. So that's how that played out.
Okay.
But the whole point was I don't want to do streaming interviews like with big platforms and stuff. I'd rather go in person because I don't like being muted. I don't like being any of that. So I'd rather go in person because I can actually, you know what I'm saying, interact with person, because I think that communication is more than just what you say. It's the body language. It's all of that.
Yep, and you said that too. So then all that happened, and then everybody's waiting for the 5150 to come on, right? Excuse me. And I watched that. Of course, we streamed all that too, and I'm for it. Like
Listen, I told you, anybody that co-signs Anton, I don't want to deal with you. You a sucker. You don't stand for nothing. Clearly, this man is a phony. He's a fraud, and he's a hypocrite. You're not going to see a real Christian man platform of Fleece Johnson. Anton is clearly a fake Christian. He does everything for money. Clicks, views, and money is what he's all about. He don't stand on no principles. The man clearly has no morals. The Fleece Johnson situation proved everything I'm saying. I don't deal with clowns who co-sign people like Anton Daniels.
I was part of TLA's mastermind, you know, so I got all
TLA. Yeah, TLA is he's done.
And then he claims to be, I've been married for 20-some years. Why you flying this groupie around with you, trying to pretend like she's your assistant? You don't need Mika for anything. You got a whole team that can do things way better than Mika. You got Mika around you for how she looked. If Mika looked like Messi, you wouldn't be flying her around with you. Let me tell you something. Let's be real. Let me prove how fake and phony this dude is. If Mika looked just like Messi, do you think Anton would be flying her out, having a woman with him courtside, taking her on shopping sprees, flaunting her in Los Angeles, flaunting her in Florida? Do you really think Mika would be flying around with Anton if she looked like Messi? Give me some feedback in the comments. So we know Mika is not really bringing any value. You got Mika with you because of her looks, not because of her talent. There's no way you would be flying Mika all across the country if she looked like Messi. Now that's a fact, 100%.
Really, really well for himself. I love the lane that he's carved for himself.
Absolutely. I always will give him.
Give me some feedback in the chat. Because King Supreme gonna keep it 100 and so true. You know damn well Anton wouldn't be flying Mika out with him and she looked like Messi. Come on. So that tells you everything you need to know. He keeps Mika around for her looks and not for her talent.
Props. But my issue, which everyone else is just like, oh my God. I'm like, child, did y'all not see that man bring a whole ass minor up on this on internet and say things that are inappropriate? I was like,
well, I could tell you why that is. That's not about me. Listen. I'm gonna give it to you, Michonne. Is it Michonne? I'm sorry, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Now you guys are just being dumb. You know damn well the only reason Anton is flying Mika out with him because of her looks. If Mika looked like Messi, there's no way he would be flying her out, flaunting her at the basketball game, taking pictures with her courtside at the Lakers game. Stop it. Now you guys are just playing stupid. And I don't respect that.
Michonne,
I'm sorry. Let me tell you what's happening, Michonne.
You can call me Messi.
All right, Messi. Let me tell you what's really happening.
It's amazing.
It's not me.
I'm not even making fun of Messi. I'm just being real. Anton flies Mika out because of her looks, not because of her talent. Messi is way more. Messi has more talent when it comes to podcasting than. Let me say that again. Messi has more talent when it comes to podcasting than Mika. People don't watch Mika to hear what she has to say. They look at her because they think she's beautiful. Nobody really cares about what she has to say. Nobody cares. Nobody ever listened to Mika and said, "Ooh, she said something that was just so profound." Nobody ever got that from Mika. Nobody watches Mika for the things that she says. People watch her because they think she's pretty, and that's it. If Anton really needed an assistant, he would hire Messi because she's a better podcaster. She's better at social media than Mika is. He only keeps Mika around because she's pretty, and somehow he feel like that is a reflection on him. I got bad bees around me all the time. Look at Mika on my arm courtside. Right? Mika is the type of woman that he really wanted to marry. But see, he didn't have the money that he has now when he got married. If Anton can do it all over again, he would have wifed up Mika, not his wife. He flunks Mika around way more than his wife. And don't say, oh, you talking about my business. Dude, you put your business on Front Street. So don't get mad at me for critiquing it.
It has nothing to do with me. They hate it's several different things. The first thing is that they hate what I represent because I don't.
Shout out to Prodigal. Shout out to SR Serum. Come on, SR Serum. You know damn well if Mika looked like Messi, Anton would not be parading that woman around. He's not taking Mika on a road with him because she's talented. He's taking her on a road with him because of her looks and her looks only. Come on, homie.
I'm the person that wasn't supposed to make it because I'm not the thug. I don't have any broken family. I don't have any scandals. I never been to jail, any of that. So when I say that this ain't what we supposed to be, we supposed to be different from that. It makes people upset because I'm not a part of the go along, get along gang. That's number one. But let me tell you why they attack my wife and my daughter. They don't like dark-skinned black women.
You don't like dark-skinned black women either. That's why you got a red bone on your arm parading her around everywhere. We got 800-something people watching. Get them likes up. We should have way more than 100-something likes. You clowns are hate watching. Bless the like button. That's the least you can do is bless the like button if you watching. Because if you're watching, that means you're entertained. Yeah. You guys hate dark-skinned black women. Now he's playing the victim. So now everybody hates dark-skinned black women. Man, shut your weak ass up. Sitting up there trying to garner sympathy from the black community, the same community that you shit on every chance you get. Man, stop it, dude. You guys don't even like dark-skinned black women. Shut up.
Believe that.
I'm not the thug. I don't have any broken family. I don't have any scandals. I never been to jail, any of that. So when I say that this ain't what we supposed to be, we supposed to be different from that. It makes people upset because I'm not a part of the go along, get along gang. That's number one. But let me tell you why they attack my wife.
He's being fake. He's saying, so the only reason that people are calling you out because you're not a part of the go along, the get along gang, man, this dude is phony. We're calling you out for being a Sambo. We're calling you out for being a fraud. We're calling you out for your hypocrisy. We are calling you out for being phony. You a fake Christian. I don't interview jail people. I don't listen to jailbirds, but you platform Fleece Johnson. If that ain't fake, I don't know what it is. You don't listen to Red Supreme because Red Supreme been in jail before. I don't even listen to jailbirds, but you platform a sexual predator like Fleece Johnson. And to take it a step further, you said Fleece is your homeboy. That's my mother effing dog. This dude is phony.
For my daughter. They don't like dark-skinned black women.
I believe that. I believe that. We definitely have a couple.
Honest to God, now listen.
Come on, Messi. You're going to believe everything Anton says. Listen, she's not going to go against anything that Anton says. So you can't look at Messi as a credible source. She's not going to listen. Everything Anton says in his interview, she's going to go along with it. Not once did she say, well, hold on, Anton, if you don't like jailbirds, why did you platform Fleece Johnson? You said you don't listen to Red Supreme or people that's been in jail. If that was really true, you would never platform a sexual predator / convict like Fleece Johnson. So that alone proves how phony you are. That alone right there proves that he's phony. Not once did she hold him accountable for being phony. Not once.
My wife, I'm not the thug. I don't have any broken family. I don't have any scandals. I never been to jail, any of that. So when I say that this ain't what we supposed to be, we supposed to be different from that. It makes people upset because I'm not a part of the go along, get along gang. That's number one. But let me tell you why they attack my wife and my daughter. They don't like dark-skinned black women.
I believe that. I believe that. We definitely have a couple.
Honest to God, now listen. My wife is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like in real life. Anybody that has ever met her, 1,000 people that met her at all of my Patreon meetups.
They all say she's nice. Very nice.
She's the
Very
nicest person in the world. She's absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Like slim and the waist, the sweetest person ever, all of that. But again,
this is amazing.
I'm telling you that dark-skinned Black women, and it even goes as far as my daughter.
Do you guys know why he's doing this? He's doing this to gain brownie points with dark-skinned Black women.
Think about it. Do you know how much of a piece of shit you have to be in order to attack an underage child? Like that, that's the lowest of the low.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping it 100. Like that is the lowest of the low that you can never be.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the spaces that we live in. It's no rules, which is a good and a
he knows if he pretends like he loves dark-skinned Black women so much, he'll get a lot of dark-skinned Black women to become his supporters because they're gonna feel like Anton is standing up for dark-skinned Black women. Yeah, girl. Come on, man. This is see-through, bro. Everybody hates dark-skinned Black women. Shut up, fool.
bad thing, right? The no rules is you get to see who people truly are, because I think that the internet is really the reflection of how people really think, but they would never really think in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would never say that in person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they'll never say, "Oh, you a stupid," whatever, so on and so forth. But they don't like dark-skinned Black women, which is really weird to me because if everybody is so pro-Black, right? Fuck what we say on the internet. I always go by what we do. If everybody is so pro-Black, then wouldn't that mean we would marry Black women? Wouldn't that mean that we wouldn't have children out of wedlock?
The majority of Black men do marry Black women. Look at I'm not saying the majority of Black men are married. The majority of Black men who do get married marry Black women by 88%. So what are you talking about, you fool? Now you talking like these women who are never chose. So what they'll do is say, you Black men are married. They look at a few Negroes in the media and try to use that as if it represents the majority of Black men. A small minority of Black men marry outside of the race. The overwhelming majority of Black men who get married to Black women by 88%. This is nonsense. Not once did this woman challenge anything that this fool said. She went along with everything. She didn't call him out for being a hypocrite. She never called him out for being a fake Christian. She never called him out for allowing another grown man to tell him he had a nice booty and a nice body. She didn't call him out for anything. You know what that tells me? Messi is a fan of Anton. That's exactly what she is. She's not the right person to interview him.
Mean that we would hire all Black people? Wouldn't that mean that we would stay in Black cities? Wouldn't that mean that we would put money in our communities?
Wouldn't that mean that you wouldn't be married to a non-Black person? Shout out to Don Lemon. Mm-hmm.
Don Lemon represents the rainbow community. Shut up, Messi. You're just being mad. Why would you mention Don Lemon as if he represents the Black community? Don Lemon is rainbow first and Black second. Let me say that again. Don Lemon is rainbow community first before he's a Black person. Don Lemon is fighting for gay rights. So why would you use Don Lemon as an example to say, yeah, them pro-Blacks be marrying white folks. Look at Don Lemon. Man, please, you sound crazy.
So I don't believe people because their life is not a reflection of what they say that they are. I don't believe
once again, it goes to money. Birdie said Anton gives a lot of good financial information. That's why his following is so big. Even if he's a little goofy. See, this is what I said. I never said that he doesn't give out financial information. You got a lot of rainbow community members that give out good financial information. You can go to Don Lemon and get some financial information. Tyler Perry could give you financial information and strategies how to make money. Does that take away from his true character? Does that take away from, you can't take away from who he really is. See, you just proved my point. Anton hides behind his money to deflect who he really is as a man. And the majority of you subscribers and followers, you let people like Anton Daniels get away with anything. As long as he has money, you're willing to look past his rainbow activity. You're willing to look past his hypocrisy. You're willing to look past the fact that he's a fake Christian. As long as he has money, you are willing to look past all of that. And that's what's wrong with the Black community. Y'all people worship money way too much. Some of the most wealthy men in this country are rainbow community members. Do you respect them as a man just because they have money? Maybe you do. Maybe you're willing to look past their rainbow activities because they got money. The sad part about it is a lot of black people think like that. Well, I'm willing to look past his rainbow activities because he has money. He has money, so it doesn't matter. Fleece Johnson told him his booty was fatter, but Anton has money, so it still doesn't matter. That's the mindset of a lot of black people, unfortunately. If Anton Daniels got caught in a bed with a white man today, his fans will make millions of excuses for it. They say, well, Anton still has money, so being with a white man in bed doesn't matter. Anton still has money.
I'm with you. I hear you. And I also believe that we all don't have to think the same, believe the same stuff. But I feel like there's a cult kind of that says that if you don't do what I say or you don't believe what I believe, then there's something wrong with you. We don't even
stop it, Messy. People calling out Anton for his blatant hypocrisy. You gonna pretend like you don't know why people calling out Anton? You being phony at this point. You know exactly why the black community is calling out this dude. Not because he doesn't agree with everybody. He's being called out for his fakeness, his phoniness, his hypocrisy. He's a fake Christian. I don't listen to jailbirds, but you platform a sexual predator, slash ex-con like Fleece Johnson. But according to Anton, I don't listen to jailbirds, but you platform a sexual predator, an ex-convict like Fleece Johnson. If that ain't phony, what is? I'm sick of these fake ass people in the black community.
Most coldest people ever.
And especially politically, Anton, because I really think that that's probably even more so one of the main things that's a problem. Because even people say that to me, because I won't necessarily, I don't even know really the reason why, but because I won't say like who I voted for or stuff like that. It's like,
oh, but see, I will say it,
right,
because I don't give a fuck, and I think that we need the problem with the culture, because I see the name of this show, right? Is it would seem as though everybody hates me, but that's not true. What has always been true in high school, middle school, elementary school, college, and in social media today is the small minority is the loudest ones in the room. True. So because, for example, there's a ton of awesome black people. There's a ton of people that's reached out to me. Some of the biggest celebrities, like, man.
Nobody hates Anton. Well, maybe they do. Everybody has haters, even don't matter how big or small you are. There's gonna be people who love what you do. There's gonna be people who hate what you do. It don't matter who you are. But stop pretending like the only reason that people are calling out Anton because they hate him. No, they're calling him out for his blatant hypocrisy. He's a fake Christian. You're not going to find a real conservative Christian man who's going to platform a Fleece Johnson. Anton is a fake Christian. He really is. Platforming a Fleece Johnson goes against your morals and Christian values. But Anton doesn't care about that as long as he can make money. Money trumps everything. His manhood, his Christian morals and values. Money trumps all of that when it comes to Anton.
Love what you're doing. I got your back, whatever, so on and so forth, right? But everybody stays quiet, right? Because they don't want to fuck up a bag. They don't want to get the wrong reputation, whatever, so on and so forth. But there's a silent majority of people.
You didn't talk about white men because you didn't want to mess up your bag. That's why you dodged the question that Corey Holcomb asked you. I'm not going to let nobody force me to answer anything. But then you just told Messi she can ask you anything. So I guess the same rules don't apply to Corey. Corey can't ask you anything, even though you came to his platform. But Messi, she can ask you anything. When Corey Holcomb asked Anton, how come he doesn't talk about white men? Anton danced around that question. Then he brought up D-sucking so he wouldn't have to revisit that question. I seen the tap dancing he was doing. It was very clever how he tap danced around that question. I'm not going to answer that. I ain't finna talk about no white man. I'm going to call Corey a D-sucker so that I don't have to answer the question, so I can direct the energy and attention to something completely different. That's exactly what he did. Come on. Those of us with common sense can see the play. He said that because he wanted to change the conversation. And that's exactly what he did to avoid the question about why he never talks about conservative white men. See, Anton, he'll talk about the liberal white woman. Even white men, Even white men criticize liberal white women. Liberal white women are a punching bag. Liberal white women are easy targets. You don't get no credit for talking about the liberal white woman. Hell, the white woman in Minnesota was a liberal white woman. The one who got shot by ICE, she's an agitator. White people have no problem criticizing the liberal white woman. You don't get no props for doing that, sir. But what you're not going to do is hold that conservative white man accountable for anything. And that's the reason that Corey Holcomb asked you the question in the first place, because he knows you're not going to do it. That's why you avoided the question. I ain't going to talk about the conservative white man. I'm going to talk about the liberal white woman. Yeah, because you're a coward.
People that don't think the way that the most degenerate people on the internet thinks.
Mm-hmm.
And so people wonder, well, how come you got a bigger platform than all of these motherfuckers combined and put together? The majority of my demographics are Black people.
I said that.
I have over 21,000 Patreon members. Short of Joe Budden, nobody is fucking with me.
Didn't I just say that, y'all?
And it's continuous.
It's all about subscribers and money. And that's cool to get subscribers and money. But when you do that, you avoid holding people like him accountable, because what he'll do is he'll hide behind his success and money so that he ain't got to be held accountable for his character. That's exactly what he's doing. He hides behind his success and money so that his character, so that he doesn't have to be held accountable for his character. That's what he always does. I'm going to hide behind my success and money to avoid critical questions. But the critical thinkers, we can see right through it. It's clear as looking out of the window on a sunny day. It's that clear to see his hypocrisy. It's clear to see that he's phony. And that is why he hides behind his success and money.
To grow. I do over 100 million views a month.
Mm-hmm.
So that would tell you something different. Now, of course, it's going to be a lot of loud people. But what I am using this to illustrate to people is that y'all got to be unapologetic in your convictions. Stop thinking that you have to say the thing that everybody wants you to hear and start being authentically you.
Right.
You don't have to fuck with this.
Oh, you can get off. I don't need people like you praying for me. Why don't you pray for yourself? You know what I mean? Pray for yourself. I don't want people like you praying for me. So take your little lily shabby ass on. Get gone. Get ghost. Adios. We don't need you, don't want you. Why don't you do us a favor and pray for your damn self? Your prayers are not wanted over here, lady.
Degenerate shit. You don't have to go to jail. You don't have to have baby mamas. You don't have to have smut, right? You can actually be authentically you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get your dusty ass on. Don't nobody need your prayers over here. Miss Dust-a-lot, Miss Dustina. Oh, dusty ass talking about praying for somebody. Nobody will need that dust over here. Take your messy ass on.
And you gonna find your groove. You'll find your audience. Everybody is looking to come up and trying to get clout and all of this shit. I don't worry about that. I say exactly what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna work out exactly how it's supposed to. And I'm gonna win every time. I've been winning my entire life. I'm never going to lose, ever.
There's
Exactly. Shout out to you. If you're gonna pray for somebody, why don't you pray that Anton Daniel? Why don't you rebuke the spirit of homosexuality out of Anton's spirit? Why don't you pray to rebuke the homosexuality spirit up out of Anton Daniels? Why don't you rebuke that rainbow demon that lives within Anton? That's what the hell you need to be praying for. You need to rebuke that rainbow spirit up out of Anton's body if you're gonna pray for anything. But of course you ain't gonna do that. Yeah.
That is being very confident, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I just think that I think the Republican stuff and the conservative stuff is just something at this point, especially in this current climate, that pushes people over the edge as well, to say that you're not really Black and how dare you and Trump is a racist, because I get those comments all the time. And I'm just trying to
most of these motherfuckers they can't even read past the 3rd grade level. Let them stand them up and tell them to read a book and see what happens.
You said, I think on the show, what did you say? You said something about it when you were talking to him. I forget what it was. And he wanted you to say something about white men. People be trying to say that shit to me all the time. Not about white men in particular.
First of all, nobody is going to tell me what I should and should say.
Exactly.
No, but you being fake, Messi. Because if Anton is willing to answer any question, he should have been willing to answer the question for why he never talks about conservative white men. So you being fake, Messi. You being fake. You are. Anton told you you can ask him any question. But apparently he didn't want Corey Holcomb to ask him any question, because when Corey asked him that question, what did he do? He tap danced around it. He avoided the question. That's exactly what he did. So it proves that you're not being real as an interviewer and Anton is fake as a person, because it's clear to see that he's not willing to answer any question. That's why he tap danced around the whole question in the first place. He didn't want to answer. Why? Because he had no answer for why he doesn't hold white people accountable. He had no answer. None.
Like you're not gonna tell me when I can't. Like that's like telling you, hey man, make your man. I don't have to do shit. Like I'm gonna do whatever.
We know you don't have to, but the fact that you avoided the question shows how fake and phony you actually are. You're right. You don't have to do anything, but it shows how fake you are. Because if you was real, you would have stood on business and gave Corey an answer for the question that he asked you. But you dodged the question. Why? Because you're too afraid to hold a conservative white man accountable for anything. You a coward, and you a coward, and everybody with common sense knows it.
Now, if you want to go and look at and see exactly what I communicate about, because I talk about everything and everybody, and nobody is absolved.
Right.
He don't talk about everything and everybody.
So, you know, if you just want to do your research, then that's cool. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do.
I got it. Little technical. We got it.
Do whatever. Now, if you want to go and look at and see exactly what I communicate about, because I talk about everything and everybody, and nobody is absolved.
Right.
So, you know, if you just want to do your research.
He don't talk about everybody. He don't talk about the conservative white men. He talks about liberal white women. See, this is a terrible interview. She's a fan of Anton Daniels. This is why she's kissing up to him, and she's not holding him accountable for his phoniness.
Then that's cool. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's the true measure of a man.
Yeah, but if Anton was real, he would answer the question. If you hold everybody accountable equally, it would have been very easy to answer Corey Holcomb's question when he asked you, how come you never hold a conservative white man accountable for anything? This dude is fake. And Messi, you being fake too. This was a weak ass interview. You threw softballs at Anton Daniels. You didn't ask him any tough questions, and not once did you hold him accountable for being fake. Red Supreme is a jailbird. I don't listen to jailbirds, but you platform a sexual predator, ex-convict like Fleece Johnson. That proves that you do listen to jailbirds. And not only do you listen to jailbirds, you allow jailbirds to flirt with you and tell you got a nice booty and a nice body. Sad and pathetic.
Man is doing what you want to do when you want to do it, and taking care of business when you don't want to do it. That's the true measure of a man. So here's the key. Everybody that come against me.
It was a glitch, man. It was a glitch. That's all it is. It was a glitch.
That you want to, but if you can't find something while you're up here to learn from, then what are you doing here? It's just entertainment. It's just fun. Fine. It can be all that. But I feel like that I have learned from you from different things because I'm more business minded as well.
She's a fan. She's not going to interview him and ask him tough questions. Listen, homie, this was not a real interview. This was a fan of his asking him softball questions. That's it. This was not a real interview at all.
I'd be like, I just said that everybody is
messy. We got to separate ourselves from the bullshit. No culture fucks with every part of the culture.
Right.
We are the only group of people that's supposed to support the degenerates.
Right. Agree.
All Asian people don't fuck with Asian. Fuck, all white people don't even mess with all white people.
Mm-hmm.
They outcast them and they say, you niggas can't read. Y'all degenerate. You got baby mamas and you don't add value into society. And they don't mess with them. We're the only people that exalt the worst of our.
I'm gonna show you how phony he is.
But I feel like that I could, well, I have learned from you from different things because I'm more business minded as well. I'd be like, I just said that everybody is
messy. We
Yeah.
gotta separate ourselves from the bullshit. No culture fucks with every part of the culture.
right,
We are the only group of people that's supposed to support the degenerates.
right. Agree.
All Asian people don't fuck with Asian. Fuck, all white people don't even mess with all white people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie. They got a whole mob museum in Las Vegas where white people celebrate mobsters and gangsters. You got movies celebrating John Gotti, the Italian mafia, and the Irish mafia. You got movies celebrating Al Capone, the mobster from Chicago. Al Capone he's glorified in white society. He's glorified in a white community. Shit, John Gotti and the mafia is glorified in the white community. What are you talking about, dummy? White people glorify their gangsters. John Dillinger, Blunt, Bunny, and Clyde. That came from white people. The original Bunny and Clyde are white people. It was a white couple. So what does that tell you? White people glorify their gangsters. White people have glorified their outlaws. They did it in movies. They got museums dedicated to white mobsters and white gangsters, white criminals, so-called degenerates. They get glorified in white culture. What are you talking about, fool?
They outcast them and they say, you niggas can't read. Y'all degenerate. You got baby mamas and you don't add value into society. And they don't mess with them. We're the only people that exalt the worst of our community and think that they should have a voice. I am not here to be friends with people. I am here to give the game the information, entertain, get my money, and then help people become the best versions of themselves. And then on top of that, on my bucket list is also
white people celebrate Al Capone, an Italian mobster. White people celebrate Lucky Luciano, another Italian mobster. White people celebrate Bugsy Siegel, John Dillinger, the Gambino family, John Gotti, Meyer Lansky, Frank Nitti. They celebrate Dutch Schultz. White people have made movies and documentaries about their gangsters and criminals. They got a whole museum celebrating white mobsters in Las Vegas and in other cities across the country. What are you talking about? We wouldn't even know who these people were if it wasn't for the glorification that white folks have gave them. Who glorified these white mobsters? Not black people, white people did.
to destroy every part of the culture that I don't like.
Mm.
I want it to fall. I want it to burn. I want it to burn to the ground in every way, shape, or form. All of the degenerate shit that we have seen and that is continuing to be pushed on our people.
How are you gonna say you're against degeneracy, but you platform a degenerate, a sexual predator like Fleece Johnson, and you platform this guy and you gave him a platform, but you claim to be against criminality and degeneracy, but you're friends with Fleece Johnson? He said, Fleece Johnson is my dog. I don't care who likes it. Fleece is realer than y'all. Fleece is my dog. Fleece Johnson is the epitome of degeneracy and criminality and criminal activity. Fleece Johnson is a sexual predator and an ex-convict, but he claims to be against degenerate behavior, but Fleece Johnson somehow is his dog. If y'all don't see how phony Anton Daniels is, I'm not messing with y'all either. Because at this point, his phoniness is on display. It is obvious how phony this dude is. I don't listen to jailbirds, but my homeboy is a sexual predator and a convict, a slash sexual degenerate. Fleece is your homeboy, but you don't listen to jailbirds. This dude is fake. And so are the people who support this.
Think that we're supposed to embrace it. I want to burn every part of it. I want all of it to go away.
I just be like, it ain't got nothing to do with me. That's how I'm with it. I just be like, it's about me and mine. That's how I look at it. Let everybody do what they want to do. The information is here. If you want it, you can take it. I give it to you. Like, it's okay to ask somebody for help. I just feel like there's not enough people that want to ask for help, and they don't want to like ask you because of whatever. And I do think that it's because you've come a long way from Lapeef, which is where I found out about you from Kevin, who mentioned you, rest in peace of Kevin Samuels. And then I was like, now, who is walking around with a Versace robe on? I said, this man looking crazy. Then you had all the sneakers behind you.
He said he don't listen to people who've been to jail, but he platformed a sexual deviant, a sexual predator, a sexual offender by the name of Fleece Johnson. But he don't listen to jailbirds. If that ain't fake and phony, I don't know what is. Then to take it a step further, he said, Fleece Johnson is my mother effing dog. But you don't listen to jailbirds, but you platform a whole sex offender, sexual degenerate, a sexual deviant. And that guy is your dog, but you don't listen to jailbirds. This dude is fake and phony, and you're fake and phony as well if you refuse to call it out. Anybody who refuses to call out his hypocrisy, you're fake and phony as well. I don't want nothing to do with you. You're fake.
I was like, this ninja, what the hell?
I'm crazy until I'm not.
No, listen, but from that to where you are now, and I'm like, all right, clearly there was a plan in place of which was set and implemented and is all running on all cylinders, I shall call it. I'm like, why can't anybody see that? Maybe they don't know you from before, but looking at all the videos that I see, they do.
One of the things that me and Kevin Samuels used to talk about all the time was, which it was a little bit different from Kev to me, because I'm learning as I go, right? I'm building a plane as I fly it. And so for me, I've had to adjust and say, man, I can't have my family as much anymore because people are vicious and they're not content creators. And so they just like living their life. They just like having fun. They like going to the grocery store or whatever. And so they don't want that type of visibility. So I've had to adjust as I continue to learn, because social media is still fairly new. It's not something that's been around for 50 years, right? So we figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, one of the things that me and Kevin Samuels used to talk about was that we love to leave up our old videos so people can see how you evolve. And the beauty in that is that you're not supposed to be the same person that you was 10 years ago.
Correct.
You're supposed to be different. Shit, I don't even want to be the same person that I was last year.
Correct.
I want to be growing. And if you listen, here's my thing. If you see a person that's the same as they was 10 years ago, get the fuck away from them, because
exactly,
they're going to keep you in the mud.
Exactly. I say the same stuff, Anton. I'm like, all right, this is the start of a new year. Are you the same person?
Exactly, Anton. Exactly. Not once did she call him out for anything. I told you she did this interview to cheerlead Anton in hopes that Anton would give her a bone and throw her some type of alley hoop. She's a group. I got to be real with you, man. So you being a groupie to Anton Daniels. You didn't ask him no real questions. You never held him accountable for being a hypocrite. You're just going along with everything that he says. And I get it. Just say I'm a fan of Anton Daniels and I'm not going to ask him any tough questions. Just say it. She's not the person to interview him because she's not going to hold him accountable for anything that he did. If anything, she's going to say that people are hating on Anton for criticizing him for being a hypocrite. So criticizing him for being a hypocrite makes you a hater. This is why people like this, she's the wrong person to interview him. She's not going to ask him tough questions. She's not going to call him on his blatant hypocrisy.
Person you was last year as you are this year, and what you're going to do to change by the time the next year comes. That's why I'm like, y'all are so upset about things that I don't even know it matters, at least not to me. I'm always looking at business perspective of stuff, because if you're not going to actually do something to make it and have more and get more, but then you're over here whining and complaining about the government that you don't want a king, but then you're looking for food stamps or Section 8 and begging and waiting and everything else. It's like you can't wait for anything. If you don't go get it, no one is going to give it to you. It's not going to come in a box that says black for you.
Nobody needs Messi to tell him that. She thinks she's saying something profound. You're talking dumb. You think these people don't know it? Be quiet.
And then that's what you're waiting for. And I'm not even talking about
some people are never going to get it. They just got to be left behind.
Right.
You're not going to convince them.
We get it. You can't save everybody. Anybody with common sense knows that you can't save everybody. When Noah built the ark, God told Noah, you're not going to be able to save everybody. Some people ain't going to listen to you. Those people got to get left behind. Save the people who will listen to you. Don't argue with the people who don't want to listen to you.
Not going to bring them along. Sometimes you just got to cut the dead weight and you got to continue to grow. But yeah, I mean, the goal is to always be the greater and better next year than you were the year before. So it's okay. Listen, I used to be liberal. I used to be all of that. Like I was, I grew up big black family. I grew up in the church. I got saved when I was 11 years old. It was different back then. We had to tarry for the Holy Ghost. So I don't know if you know anything about that. Like we was at the altar. So we used to have stays where, you would basically do shut-ins and lock-ins. And we had to tarry. And then eventually, I don't want to go and get into it, but we called it saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, speaking in other tongues as the Spirit of God gave utterance. So I was raised in the church, but I was also raised in the inner city of Detroit. So I seen the tale between two worlds. You know what I'm saying? I come from an environment where, the crack house was right up the street, but I had two parents in my household and said, we're not going to do that. That's not how we live in our lives. So I have the opportunity. I was a kid that had older brothers that was in the streets, but they said, we're going to protect you because you're going to be the one to make it out. You know what I'm saying? So my life is understanding our community. We worse off than we.
Everybody don't want to come. Everybody not trying to come. And the part about.
That's what we do. Ain't no rules no more.
So are you going to sue?
Well, I can't.
Now she's getting ready to ask him, are you going to sue Corey Holcomb? Now, do you really believe somebody who sues over words will fist fight in the middle of the street? Do you really believe somebody who's scared to go to jail is going to fist fight somebody in the streets? Come on, man. You guys got to use this. You got to use discernment. God gave you common sense. Please use it. Somebody who says they'll do anything to stay out of jail and they'll never go to jail. Well, if you fist fight in the streets, that's a chance that you can go to jail. Somebody who's that scared to go to jail is not going to fist fight somebody in the streets. They're not going to meet up for a fist fight if they're scared of jail. They're not. Anton had an armed bodyguard with him. That armed bodyguard was not going to let him fight.
Well, people will change their standards depending on who they don't like.
Awesome. You're awesome.
And
Messi, you didn't ask this dude no real questions. You never held him accountable for being a hypocrite. He said that he don't listen to jailbirds, but he gave a whole sexual predator a platform like Fleece Johnson. If you don't listen to jailbirds, there's no way that you will interview a person like Fleece Johnson. But see, this is the bigger picture. Anton will do anything for money. He'll do anything for money. His Christian morals, his Christian values don't matter as long as he can make $1. So when Anton told, this is what you should have said, Messi. If you was being real messy, this is what you would have said. You would have said, hold on, Anton, you say you don't listen to jailbirds. Well, if you don't listen to jailbirds, why would you put a sexual predator? Why would you interview a sexual predator on your platform if you don't listen to jailbirds? That alone proves to me that you wasn't being real during this interview. You didn't want to ask him the real questions. You didn't want to call him out for his hypocrisy. I don't listen to jailbirds, but then I interview a whole sexual predator, ex-convict on my channel, but I don't listen to jailbirds. If that ain't phony, what is?
If, my daughter was a little light-skinned girl, it don't matter about her accomplishments. It don't matter about where she's going. It doesn't matter about her background. It doesn't matter that is a standard by which we're supposed to raise our daughter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that she's a little dark-skinned girl. And she's mine. And so that's reason enough to change your standards from, oh no, we don't go after.
This was not a real interview. If Messi was being real in his interview, she would have said, Anton, you can't say you don't listen to jailbirds and then you turn around and interview Fleece Johnson. That doesn't make sense. You were supposed to call Anton out for being a hypocrite, but you didn't do it, Messi. You didn't do it. You disappointed me big time. You let Anton Daniels get away with being a hypocrite live on your show.
Kids to, well, you know what? That's what we do. Ain't no rules no more.
So are you going to sue?
Well, I can't really talk about that.
Mm,
My goal right now, Messi,
mm,
is to assess, what is going on with my daughter,
mhm.
and then I play it from there.
How is your daughter?
She figuring it out.
Hmm.
She figuring it out. As a person, she's great. And so luckily, I have the resources to do everything that I can to ensure that she's protected as much as possible. But I
Can you,
can't control the internet. You know what I'm
of course
saying?
not. Of course not. Can you confirm that she is or is not a minor?
She is a minor.
Okay.
She's 100.
You can't be a real interviewer if you're not going to hold people on their BS. The easiest thing you could have did was say, well, hold on. If you don't listen to Jailbirds, well, why would you platform Fleece Johnson? You never said that, Messi, which tells me that this wasn't a real interview. You a fan of Anton Daniels. You're hoping that Anton Daniels might throw you a bone to get on. I get it. So I understand why you never held him accountable for being a hypocrite. Trust and believe. I get it. I understand it 100%.
100% a minor.
Okay.
She's
There's
still
some
in high
that.
school. She's still in high school.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you expect that there will be more coming from Corey with regard to this? Coming back.
Listen. I anticipated all of this
Hmm.
10 moves ahead.
Hmm. You mean you looking long term at things? That's what you're saying?
Is not all of this obvious?
I know. But for the people in the cheap seats, just I like when I'm proven to be correct with what I'm saying. There's some things that I know and there's plenty that I don't know. And I always want to make sure that when I'm proven right, that I say, I try to tell ya. But people, sometimes think what they want to think.
There's nothing Messi could say to debunk anything I say. It is phony. When you let somebody tap dance around a real issue, you're not being a real interviewer. Any real interviewer would have said, well, hold on, Anton, you say you don't listen to Jailbirds. If that's the case, why would you interview a prisoner like Fleece Johnson? Why would you interview a convict like Fleece Johnson if you don't listen to Jailbirds? She refused to do that because she wasn't being real during his interview. She's a fan of Anton Daniels, and that's why she never held him accountable for being a hypocrite.
Is not all of this obvious?
It is. But maybe it's for people that don't think that way and only think in the moment. It wouldn't be obvious to them. And I think there's a lot of people that don't think that far.
Of course she is. Her name is
And unfortunately, just think
listen, I'm not the typical black guy. I'm not that.
If you watching right now, make sure that you bless the like button and support the Cash App. Shout out to Desmond Hill for the Cash App. Shout out to Rick for the Cash App. Shout out to Stephanie for the Cash App. Shout out to AJ for the Cash App. And shout out to Timothy. I appreciate you all for the Cash Apps. Let's get some super chats in as well. Support the show. Make sure that you bless the like button. It ain't nothing. It don't cost you nothing to bless the like button. The likes are free. Come on with it, baby. Messi, this was a terrible interview. This is one of the worst interviews that I've ever seen in 2026 so far. You never asked this man a real question, and you never held him accountable for being a hypocrite.
Are you black, Anton? That's the other question. Are you black?
Well, I just showed my father's and my grandfather's birth certificates from Dawson, Georgia. It's on the Anton Daniels channel. I mean, it's on a Millionaire Morning Show channel.
You said you just showed it. What was that on a show this week?
Probably last week.
Oh, okay.
It's up there.
Okay.
Born in Detroit, Michigan, 1982, Sinai Hospital. Father was born in Dawson, Georgia. His father was born in Dawson, Georgia. His father was down there in Georgia also. My grandfather's name was.
We already know you're born in 1982. You say it all the time. You'll be 44 years old. We get it. We know that. Are you a tethered? Do you come from an immigrant background? Is your father and grandfather FBA? That's the real question that we want to know. Like I said, Messi's a terrible interviewer. We never said, are you black? It's obvious to see that you're black. Are you FBA? Is your lineage FBA? Messi refused to ask him the real questions. We know you're black. We can look at your goofy ass and see that. The $1 million question is, Do you come from an immigrant background? Can you trace your lineage to FBA? That's what everybody really wants to know. Nobody ever asks, is he really black? Maybe he's white. I don't know. Just dumb. It's obvious that he's black. The question is he FBA or does he come from an immigrant background? That's the question you were supposed to ask him.
It was Aurelius Daniels. My father's name was Thaddeus Daniels.
Okay.
It don't get no blacker than that.
Okay. So what's wrong with what's going on with you and O'Shea? What's the problem there?
Well, O'Shea, last time I talked to O'Shea was shortly after Kevin Samuels died. We were cool. Like we was always cool. And I've never said anything negative about O'Shea. I think that O'Shea felt, want me to be honest with you? I can only speculate because I haven't spoken with him.
Okay.
I think that O'Shea felt some type of way when I became friends with
Amazing.
Myron and Fresh and Fit. When I did Myron and Fresh and Fit, and I went on there and I apologized to Myron and Fresh because
shout out to First Class Citizen. The guy's an opportunist who was a mascot of self-hatred. He's definitely off code, right? Now he's saying, listen, there's no reason for Myron was sitting around in a Ku Klux Klan robe talking crazy about black people. To be friends with a Myron Gaines as a foundational black American. It makes no sense. Like I said, any foundational black American is cool with Myron. They're suspect. It's time to write people off like that. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care how popular they are. If you're cool with Myron and you're an FBA, you a waste to the community. You have no pride. You have no loyalty. Get lost. I don't want nothing to do with anybody that's cool with Myron as a foundational black American. It makes no sense. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how many subscribers you got. There's no excuse for a foundational black American to be cool or friends with somebody like Myron.
I had jumped into something that I wasn't supposed to, and it had nothing to do with me, and I had assumed and took a side simply because my homies and all of them was taking a side. I was wrong about that. And so the first thing that I did was I apologized on air. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start evaluating people based off of how I interact with them, not based off of what the narrative is spent about them on the internet. So it seems like the minute that I got cool with Myron, O'Shea just, you know, he did what he did. But I don't take it personal because this is the internet.
Right.
I don't take it personal. Like, I'm not going to come after him or anything like that because as long as people keep it on me, I'm cool with that. Because I'm a content creator and this is what comes along with it. And so I don't take it personal when people come after me. The only time that, if it's not like real between me and you, the only time that I feel some type of way about it and then now I have to take it personal is when, you know, when people come after my people. And then then I go dark.
Understood. So
because why would I complain about free publicity?
I know.
I love this shit.
Shout out to me.
Listen, I am one of the most talked about people in 2026. Do you know how beneficial this has been for me?
Yes, I do.
You can't pay for this type of visibility.
I know.
I got crazy sponsors at my door right now. So do it.
Well, that's good for you. I don't care about your money. That's for the women and male groupies that care about your money. I don't care about your money. I'm holding you accountable for your character. I can give a damn about your money. You know, people like Messi are impressed by your money and YouTube success. I could care less. I'm holding you accountable for who you are as a person, something that she refused to do.
Do the reaction videos, had the conversations, keep my name in the algorithm. I am very blessed for it. And I'm not complaining. That's why I don't have no problem with O'Shea saying what he says and all of that stuff. It's cool. It is what it is. I don't have no problems with that.
So what's the deal with you and Kwame?
I seen some stuff. Well, listen. Here's the thing about Kwame. Kwame fell for the same thing. He showed you that he don't like black women either. First thing
This is softball interviewing. This is a weak ass interview. This is softball interviewing. Messi is a fan, borderline groupie to Anton Daniels. She really is. This is why she's not asking him any tough questions. She's going along to get along with him. Not once did she call him out for being a hypocrite. Not once did she call him out for letting a grown man telling him he had a nice booty. It goes against his Christian morals and values to platform a Fleece Johnson. Not once did she hold him accountable for that. This is a softball, weak-ass interview. 100%.
Does is he goes after, he goes after my wife as usual.
Oh,
As beautiful as a soul as she is.
mm-hmm.
It is what it is. I mean, this is what Neanderthals do.
Okay. Did you flag his channel, his live stream or something?
I've never flagged anybody's channel.
I didn't think so, but that's a video that
you don't know, Anton. You don't know what he would do. I didn't think so, Anton. You don't know what this fool does behind the scenes. I didn't think so.
His channel. What would I flag it over?
I think I'm getting secondhand information about that. I haven't watched his video yet, but allegedly, he's saying that allegedly, Kwame, he's saying that you flagged the channel. I saw it on somebody else's channel.
See, if he didn't do it, he'll send his minions to do it. So he'll say, well, I didn't do it, when in reality, he sent his people to do it. Listen, my Red Supreme TV got flagged. When I roasted Anton Daniels with the Corey Holcomb situation, they flagged my channel. I got a second strike for that. 2 days later, they flagged the whole channel down. Right after I roasted Anton Daniels. Come on, y'all, don't be stupid. The man clearly lacks character, and he'll do any and everything for money. He's not to be trusted. Somebody that's willing to do any and everything for money is not to be trusted. You can't believe a word they say. Use the common sense that God gave you. Where's your antennas? Where's your thinking cap?
And I think the video.
I want people to talk about me. Why would I flag a channel of a person and I want that?
This is amazing.
He's so easy. He a fiddle.
Okay, well, why would you sue Corey Holcomb for talking about you? Well, he talked about my daughter. He's a comedian. That's what comedians do. They roast people and the people around you. So if you're not against suing, why would you be against flagging? Come on, people, use the common sense that God gave you. I already told you. Somebody who's scared to go to jail is not going to fist fight somebody in the streets. They're not, for one. For two, if he's willing to sue somebody over words, what makes you think he won't flag somebody over words? Come on, y'all. Are you this slow?
You can play him like a fiddle. You can have him. Listen, one thing I know about Kwame is he's going to give you free promotion for the whole year. Like he will definitely.
Somebody who's willing to sue over words will flag you over words. Come on, y'all.
Keep your name in the algorithm. Now his channel may not grow, and he'll make an excuse and say, "Oh man, because I don't care. Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. I don't care about this. You knew money. No, I'm more money than you. You knew money. No, I'm more money. It's a difference.
Then the NBA player?
I'm more money than him. Messy. Listen.
Anton got his money for being a trust fund, baby. Anton did not get this money out of the mud. And y'all let this buffoon brag about money. Anton is a trust fund, baby. He didn't get none of his money out of the mud. His father passed away and left him a lump sum of money. That's how he got on. Anton didn't get rich because of his own merits. Anton didn't get rich because of his dedication and hard work. No, that's not how he got rich. Anton got rich for being a trust fund, baby. And ain't nothing wrong with being a trust fund, baby, but stop pretending like you got this money up out of the mud when you didn't. Stop it.
There's only a lot of these niggas don't got it like you think they got it. I'm telling you.
Allegedly.
No.
He's going to make everything about money so that you don't put his character on trial. So now he's wanting to talk about who got. Listen, I don't care how much money you got. I don't count people's money. I hold people accountable for their character. I don't need you for your money. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want nothing from you. So I don't care about your money. I'm holding you accountable for the lack of character. I'm holding you accountable for your blatant hypocrisy. I'm holding you accountable based on the fact that you a fake ass Christian. That's what I'm talking about you. What I say about Anton has nothing to do with money. I'm putting him on trial for his poor character.
Ain't no, listen. I believe in my heart, I can't prove it. I'm not saying that it's real. I don't believe that these niggas even got money like that no more.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I just really don't. I believe that most of these niggas is trying to hold on to what they got.
If anybody's riding Anton's D, is Messy. That's why she refused to act. She refused to ask him real questions. She's the one riding his sack. It's mighty funny that she would say that, and she's the main one riding his sack.
Did you get Red's channel?
Who?
Red Supreme, his
Who?
channel. Red Supreme TV.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When you've been doing it for over 5-6 years and you less than a certain level, I don't even pay attention to this shit.
Okay.
And I don't really talk to niggas that been to jail. I don't talk to niggas that been to prison. I don't talk to niggas that been to jail. I think that's
now you see how fake you see how fake she is. Well, he is. He don't talk to people that's been to jail or prison, but you interview Fleece Johnson and platform. I wanted y'all to see how fake this dude is, and she refused to call it out. Messy is fake. So is Anton.
no more.
She could have said, well, hold on. If you don't talk to people that have been to jail, why would you interview Fleece Johnson? He's a sexual deviant / sexual predator, ex-convict. You interviewed him, but you don't talk to people who's been to jail. This is what I mean when I say people like Anton hide behind money. And people allow him to avoid real questions. They never hold him accountable. You don't talk to people that's been to jail, but Fleece Johnson is your dog. You broke bread with him and he flirted with you live on air.
No, I'm more money than you.
In the NBA, his
Ooh.
channel. Red Supreme TV.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When you've been doing it for over 5-6 years and you less than a certain level, I don't even pay attention to this shit.
Okay.
And I don't really talk to niggas that been to jail. I don't talk to niggas that been to prison. I don't talk to niggas that been to jail. I think that's low hanging fruit, honestly.
You saying Red Supreme went to jail? Allegedly?
I don't know. I just don't. When people say certain jail talk, I don't get into that shit. I think that it's really low hanging fruit.
So
what she should have said is, well, if you don't talk to people who's been to jail, why would you interview Fleece Johnson? He's been to prison and he's a sexual deviant and a sexual predator. You interviewed him. Matter of fact, you said that Fleece is your dog. That's how you know. That's how you know she's being fake, because if she was real, she would have said, hold on, Anton, I just saw you interview Fleece Johnson. How you gonna say you don't talk to jail people? That don't make sense. But Messy is being fake. That's why she never held him accountable for being fake. Birds of a feather flock together.
the thing with O'Shea's video that we was just watching, he says that you are the new Tommy Sotomayor. How you feel about that?
I think that Tommy is
All right, let's go to the lead attorney thing right here. I just wanted to show you how fake Messy was. Not once did she hold him accountable for anything.
does, right?
You are a child. Somebody write child. I know it hurts you guys. It hurts some of y'all to say.
Now, I'm not going to say anything about lead attorney. I'm going to keep my feelings to myself. I'm going to just play this interview. I ain't going to take no shots at him. I'm just going to let y'all hear what he had to say. But Messy is fake. Not once did she hold Anton accountable for being fake himself. She didn't say, well, hold on, Anton. You just interviewed Fleece Johnson and said that Fleece was your boy. But then you said you don't talk to jail people or you don't deal with people who's been in jail because that's low-hanging fruit. But Fleece Johnson is your dog. You platformed him. That's phony. And the fact that Messy never said anything about it shows who she is as a person as well.
Some of y'all were doing some roguish things at 17. You were a child. You were a child. So we need to start off from there. All right. Corey's reaching behind Anton.
Let me tell you something, man. Red Supreme TV1 was not monetized. All I did was go live on that channel. Right? I wasn't looking to have I was being real and authentic on that channel. So that channel wasn't about subscribers. It was about reaching the people that I needed to reach. I was doing content on a shadow ban. I was doing content on a shadow ban channel that was demonetized. Right? So if you know the truth, you know the truth. That channel was never about subscribers. It was about me getting out the real message. I didn't want YouTube silencing me on that channel. So I put out content on that channel for years and it was shadow banned and demonetized. So don't let the numbers fool you. If you know the truth, you know the truth. But anyway, let's dive into this conversation with the lead attorney about Anton Daniels looking to sue. I don't flag anybody, but he'll sue you. Somebody who will sue you for words will flag you for words. Let me say this for a lot of you people who are too slow. If you will if you will sue somebody over words, you will flag somebody over words.
Reach and touch the wife, and then goes to the child. Now, so many people said, hey, man, Corey was justified. Anton was talking crazy, and you can't dictate how a person responds. And we're going to get into that. Do judges look at it that way? Do lawyers look at it that way? Do reasonable people look at it that way? Or, do street dudes look at it that way? Do lames and squares, attorneys, accountants? I am going to give you guys an attorney's perspective. Everybody's talked about this except for attorneys. That's why y'all beating down my door. So we're going to get it, but I had to put it on the back channel. You're ain't going to fuck up my algorithm. This is messy. This is messy. Let me look at the poll right quick. What's the poll say? I said, do you think Anton should file a lawsuit? Why?
Anton ain't never had his channel flagged down. He's never lost the channel, and he's never had people flag his channel like my channel got flagged. You know how often Red Supreme TV 1 got flagged? That was a demonetized shadow ban channel. Don't let the numbers on that channel fool you. That channel was rough, raw, rugged, and real. Red Supreme TV 1 was the truth. I didn't care about sponsors. I didn't care about advertisers. I use that content to give you guys the truth, being uncensored. That's why that channel didn't have the numbers that it should have had. It was shadow banned. It was demonetized. What do you expect from a channel like that? Anytime you tell the truth and you don't censor yourself, YouTube is going to shadow ban you. They're going to demonetize you. If you know how YouTube works, then you understand what I'm saying.
Wow, 62% of y'all said no, Anton should not file. This is interesting, guys, because I'll be honest with you. If Anton files a lawsuit, generally speaking, he's probably going to be looking at I don't want to speculate. He could do a bench trial, jury trial, however he wants to do it. But this is interesting. I mean, y'all are community members. Now, y'all might not be his community members, right? Who knows if he's going to file in California, if he's going to file in Detroit. We could talk about all that. But the vast majority of y'all are saying that Anton should not file. Now, I'm interested to see if y'all think this way when I show this and once we kind of get into it.
If you will sue somebody over words, you will flag somebody over words. Come on, guys, use common sense. Use the common sense that God gave you. Messy is fake as they come. If anybody's deriding Anton, it is you with all those softball questions, and you refuse to hold him accountable for his hypocrisy. The derider is you. That's why you came with all those softball ass questions and never held him accountable for being fake on your platform. That had to be the weakest interview I've seen in years.
I want to see if y'all's views change. But this is interesting. All right, now, let me say one other thing too. This is just my perspective, all right? I have talked to Corey Holcomb when I did his show. I've never talked to him after that. When I did his show, he treated me extremely well. I was extremely impressed at the man that Corey Holcomb is, at least the man that I saw. Now, some of y'all are sending me some damn video when he's mushing some lady in the face. I didn't see that, Corey. I don't know what that lady was saying, but to mush a woman in the face, I mean, maybe we could talk about that. I didn't see that Corey, but the Corey that I saw, a gentleman, and he gets crunk on his show, but after the show, extremely cool dude. He and Craig and maybe somebody else, maybe Darlene. I don't remember. I don't think Darlene would, but at least me, him, and Craig went out to dinner. Great conversation. I thought great human being. All right, that's the person that I saw that day. And even before then, I guess we talked on the phone or communicating via text or something. They bought my ticket out there, put me in a nice hotel, treated me perfectly. All right, so shout out to Corey. This is not to beat up on Corey at all. This isn't to praise him or to blame him. I'm just saying, I was on his show and he treated me with the utmost respect. And of course, I treat everybody with respect. And Corey was like, I'll reciprocate, brother. So big shout out to Corey. Big shout out to 5150. Similarly, I have worked with Anton. I've never been on his show, but he's come on my show a couple of times just via, calling in. I have met him in person. We first met, I think, at Kevin Samuel's funeral. And then after that, we collabed at least once down in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. And, when Anton comes on my show, we collabed in person. Anton equally, an amazing human being, super respectful. Never heard him talking bad about anybody, And guys, sometimes your online persona, sometimes we gotta go hard for you guys. But when we just talking, both these brothers were extremely cool. Now, I have not talked to Anton about this situation at all. So don't think, oh, well, lead attorney said he's going to sue, or lead attorney said he wasn't going to sue, or lead attorney thinks he has a case. This is whatever I say is coming from me. None of this is coming from Corey, and none of this is coming from Anton or his family. I haven't talked to either one of these brothers about what has transpired. All right, so let me just get that out there along with, I don't represent any of these people, and none of this is legal advice. All right, this is just education and entertainment. But I've seen
It was just education and entertainment. It's not legal advice. All right.
So many content creators and so many people talk about this situation. No one has talked about it from a legal standpoint, which makes sense because I think I'm like the only black attorney that gets all messy with this stuff. So here I am. Y'all wanted it. Here I am. We're going to talk all about it. Now, let's kind of set the scene and see what our man is talking about here. This is a live that Anton did either yesterday.
Make sure that you guys get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Run them numbers up for your boy. Bless the Cash App and show your love and appreciation. But most importantly, what I need you guys to do is take your finger and bless the like button. No slacking on that like button. Let's get it.
Day or the day before. Y'all hit a brother's like button. And before we do that, let me praise you guys. Let me see who's in the chat. Big shout out to Jesse.
Anton didn't want to catch a fade, man. When Corey said say it again, he didn't say it again. Come on, man. It's like, why you people don't have common sense? If somebody tells you they're not built for jail and they'll do anything to stay out of jail and prison, do you think somebody like that is going to fist fight in the streets? Because if you fist fight in the streets, you run the risk of what? Going to jail. And Anton said it himself. He's not going to go to jail. He had an armed bodyguard with him. Do you really think Anton's bodyguard was going to let him get beat up? He said, let's go outside for the cameras. It looked good on camera. But somebody who says they'll do anything to stay out of jail is not going to fist fight somebody in a street fight. They're not going to do it. Come on, homie, use common sense. Where's your antennas? Where's your thinking cap? Somebody who's afraid to go to jail is not going to fist fight somebody in the streets. He told Fleece Johnson he would do anything to stay out of jail because he's not built for it. So you really think a bozo like that is going to meet up for a fist fight in the streets if he's that scared of jail? Come on, man. He said that because he understands that his fans are gullible and they're dumb. Anything that looks good on camera, they're going to believe it. Anton knows that. He studied the mindset of people on social media way before he pulled that stunt. Somebody like that is not going to fist fight somebody and run the risk of going to jail. The only reason he said we can go outside because he had an armed bodyguard with him, and his armed bodyguard is not going to let him get beat up. That's not what the bodyguard gets paid for. The bodyguard don't get paid to watch Anton get beat up.
For Jesse V, beautiful, like one of the beautifulest smiles I've ever seen in my life. People say I got a smile. No, Jesse's got a smile. Excellent, just beautiful woman, amazing husband, a trucker. Shout out to all the truckers. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We got our man Guy Incognito.
You think a guy with armed security is gonna catch? Man, come on, man. Your armed security is not gonna watch you get beat up. I ain't finna listen. Here we go.
And that is the purest thing that we can do, is that we can take care of our children. Our children are the ones that are our future.
Agreed.
Now, I'll give you a little bit of insight for those of you that may not be familiar with my daughter. USA team, at different points throughout the year, she's usually ranked about number 2 or number 3 in the country.
God.
Junior Olympian, probably has close to over 325 medals, of which 200 and maybe 80 of them are gold.
All right, let's stop the show right there. You know, I will be honest. I don't have any kids. All right, but I think I'm a smart dude. I'm relatively athletic, at least I was before I got sick. All right, I did my little 23andMe. It said that I have elite powerlifting genetics. All right, that's not me. That's what the damn genetic testing said. Your boy's 6'3", 240. I used to get it in. And I would hope if I had a kid, and I'm an attorney, right? So it's like, I would hope that, you know, my kid would have the brains and the bronze. But can I realistically say, oh, if I had a kid, my kid would have 300 medals? 300? That's insane.
Children eventually will have to see how ugly the world is.
This is true.
All of them.
Y'all parents be hating.
Regardless of how we feel, regardless of what happens, all of our children will have to see, we'll have to see what the world is. What we as parents are supposed to do is protect them as long as possible, until they have to see what the world is.
Man, what? Somebody wrote, I don't think anybody doesn't like Anton or Corey Holcomb. I don't know what's going on. They left that in the super chat. King Sin is like, this is a straight fraud. Some of y'all are not feeling what is wrong with what this man is saying? I don't know. Some of y'all are not feeling it. And shout out to King Sin. King Sin been a brother of the channel from the start. Shout out to the Sigmas. All right. Shout out to all the fraternities, all the sororities. If you're in a fraternity or sorority, shout your fucking sorority out. AKA incorporated. Nobody gives a fuck about your shit being incorporated. Y'all always throwing that in there, and we don't care. All right, but shout your thing, and y'all AKAs, y'all fine as hell. Them Deltas fine as hell. I dated a Sigma for fucking. Not a Sigma. What is it? What's the Sigma? What's the sisters to the Sigmas? The Zetas. I dated a Zeta for damn 5 years. She had thick thighs too. She used to run track. So shout out to all the fraternities, all the damn sororities. But y'all are not feeling damn Anton. I haven't heard one thing wrong that he's saying, Sin. Not one.
Messi is like your auntie who cooks potato salad and sweet potato pies that gossips all the time. That's what she is. That was the weakest interview that somebody could have ever did. She didn't ask him no tough questions. She went along with everything he said, no pushback. That interview was weak. She got the nerve to say ninja's always gonna ninja, and messy bras always gonna be messy. Messy gonna be messy because that's the only thing she has to offer, apparently. Throwing all those softball questions at Anton, but not holding him accountable for anything. Man, please.
I'm standing on it. All right. I'm trying to be impartial, but y'all are, god damn. Nothing this man has said has been wrong. Y'all are already on him.
Does, right? So this is what I'm gonna say. My focus right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get into the show. My focus right now is trying to figure out the psychological damage, impact, and trauma that has been done to my daughter. I pulling her out of school.
All right, so let's stop it right there. All right.
I want to see what the lead attorney has to say because he's really just soft shoeing around it. Can Anton sue Corey? That's the real question. Do you think he has a good case? That's what we want to know, Mr. Lead Attorney.
What is he saying? He's saying my daughter has been traumatized. Period. And we're in triage mode right now. We're just trying to figure out the extent. Now, some of y'all are like, oh, well, you know, Anton shouldn't have been talking shit. Well, I think that's fair to say if it's Anton that's being traumatized. I think that's fair. If you're in mutual combat and you get some licks, you're in mutual combat. But was the child in mutual combat with Corey? That's what attorneys are going to ask. That's what judges are going to ask. That's what judges are going to instruct you as jurors. The jurors have to determine, was the child in mutual combat with Corey Holcomb? Because the child is sustaining damage. Right? So, you know, that number one, that's right. What is he saying? He's saying, my daughter has been traumatized.
I know it was mute. Somebody, listen, do you really think Anton, somebody with an armed bodyguard, let me tell you something. If Anton didn't have that armed bodyguard with him, there's no way he would have told Corey Holcomb, let's go outside and fight. The only reason Anton felt comfortable saying let's go outside because he knew he had that armed bodyguard with him. Your armed bodyguard is not going to watch you get beat up. They're not. Anton understands that his fans are slow. He understands that his fans are squares and nerds. And squares and nerds don't know the difference. You could fool them with stuff on. You could fool them with theatrics. You can fool squares and nerds with theatrics on camera. Anybody with common sense who knows how the street goes, somebody who says they're not built for jail and they'll do anything to stay out of jail, somebody who feels like that is not going to fist fight somebody in the streets. Because if you fist fight in the streets, you run the risk of going to jail. And Anton said to himself, I'd do anything to stay out of jail, please. So you think somebody like that is going to fist fight? No. You guys lack discernment and common sense, but I get it. The majority of his fans are squares and nerds who don't know no better. He fooled y'all with those theatrics. Oh, let's go out back. Yeah, you got an armed security guard with you. Of course you're going to say that. Anton would have never told Corey we can go outside if he didn't have an armed security with him. Use common sense, please.
And we're in triage mode right now. We're just trying to figure out the extent. Now, some of y'all are like, oh, well, you know, Anton shouldn't have been talking shit. Well, I think that's fair to say if it's Anton that's being traumatized. I think
Of
that's
course,
fair.
Messi is talking. Messi is your old auntie cooking potatoes. Listen, man. Let me tell you something, Messi. Cook me a potato salad. Be quiet. Get in there and make me a sweet potato pie and some potato salad or something. Make yourself useless. Instead of gossiping on the internet, Messi needs to be in the kitchen baking some damn potato salad or something. Some collard greens. She need to be doing something like that instead of gossiping. If you're not going to hold Anton accountable, why waste time interviewing him with those softball questions? Messi, let me tell you something. You belong in the kitchen whipping up some potato salad for your guests on Sunday, not gossiping on the internet. We need our auntie in the kitchen cooking on a Sunday, not gossiping.
If you're in mutual combat and you get some licks, you're in mutual combat. But was the child in mutual combat with Corey? That's what attorneys are going to ask. That's what judges are going to ask. That's what judges are going to instruct you as jurors. The jurors have to determine, was the child in mutual combat with Corey Holcomb? Because the child is sustaining damage. Right? So, you know, that number one, that's kind of the perspective of where we need to kind of look at this.
That has been done to my daughter. I pulling her out of school.
So there is an interruption in her education, something that is fundamental to a child.
Early therapy.
If somebody invites you to a fade and they got an armed security guard with them, you know they don't want to fight. And when you study Anton, he said he's not going to do anything to go to jail. He'll do anything to stay out of jail. Somebody who thinks like that is not going to fist fight in the streets. That was theatrics. He knows that these squares and nerds don't know no better. He said, ooh, Anton challenged Corey to a fade. You also got to remember that Anton said he'll do anything to stay out of jail. When you fist fight in the streets, it's a risk that you're running a risk of going to jail at that point. And Anton he said he'll do anything to stay out of jail. So if you think that Anton wanted to catch a fade, you guys are slow. You're too damn dumb to be listening to this platform if you believe that this cornball was going to catch a fade in the middle of the streets or in a back alley somewhere. Stop it. You got to be slow if you believe that.
Make sure that she is protected, trying to see what the fallout will be as far as her having to be removed.
Told y'all yesterday, man, anybody who defends Anton Daniels, you already know what category to put them in, man. Anybody who defends Anton Daniels, we need to write them off, period. They don't belong in this community. They don't. That goes for anybody who defends Anton. I don't even have to call them by name. If they're defending Anton Daniels, you know what type of person you're dealing with. Straight up and down. If you defend Tommy Sotomayor or Anton Daniels, it's evident. We already know where you stand.
From some of her competitions,
Jesus,
because of a lot of different things, including online bullying and psychological damage. There's a lot of fallout from what happens to my daughter's life because she is so accomplished. She has some of the greatest schools in the United States of America that has been seeking her out, scholarships, looking for her to join the team. She is on track to be a United States Olympian. She was supposed to be possibly in the next Olympics.
amazing.
And I don't
Amazing.
know how damaging this is to her psyche. I don't know. Who knows? This can be a lifetime of damage. We don't know what butterfly effect things that we do to our children. And the one thing that most fathers, Black fathers, try to do is they try to make sure that their children are protected.
Shout out to Don Jeter for sending that 50 on the Cash App. So shout out to Don Jeter for sending the sponsors. He sponsored today's show. So shout out to my man Don Jeter in the building. Tell Messi to cook up. Messi need to be in the kitchen making some potato salad and some collard greens, not being a messy auntie gossiping on the internet. Messi is your auntie. Messi is an auntie who needs to be in the kitchen, not gossiping. Messi, come over here and make me some potato salad and some collard greens. Damn it.
Well, all fathers, but Black fathers included. Shout out to our white brothers, our Hispanic brothers.
That's what we do. As fathers, we don't really care what happens to us, right? Because that's just life. But we never, ever can imagine what would happen to our
How
underage
Anton
children.
gonna say he don't deal with Neanderthals? Fleece Johnson is the epitome of a Neanderthal. He's the epitome of it, a sexual deviant, a sexual predator. His claim to fame is saying gullible, weak men in prison. If you'll be friends with somebody like that, then clearly you have no Christian morals and values. But of course, Messi's not going to hold him accountable for anything because she's messy. She's just looking for attention. I'm pretty sure we all have that auntie who gossips all day on the phone who's messy. That's exactly what she is, your messy auntie. She need to be in the kitchen whipping up some potato salad instead of gossiping on the internet.
All right. So Anton is really letting you guys know, hey, my child is a child, minor child underage. I'm going to bring up this. I'm going to read some super chats later, not now, but I do want to bring up this because Blue is the man. All right. And Blue always calls it like he sees it. It blew back and says, listen, I'm not for what Corey said. However, if you don't want people to talk about your kids and wife on the internet, do not show your kids and wife on the internet. I do agree with this. I do agree. If I had a girlfriend, if I had a wife, y'all niggas never know. First question y'all be asking, what color is she? That's what Tasha K was. Oh, what Tasha K said? She gonna find all the white women I'm fucking. She gonna find all the Asian women. She put me with the Asians. I've never seen an Asian.
Well,
naked in
Tasha's
my
messy,
life.
so you gotta expect Tasha to say that.
I mean, not in real life. I was gonna make a race up, whatever. Oh, I've never done anything.
I agree with you,
women.
bro. He said her name is Messy. What do you expect from her? Tyler Man said her name is Messy. What do you think you're gonna get from her? Exactly. She's gonna be messy. She's your messy auntie who gossips all day on the phone instead of taking her ass in the kitchen to whip up some damn potato salad. Damn it.
Now them damn Hispanics are, shit. But for me, it's the black and the brown. Not even relevant. My point is,
I don't listen. I don't believe Anton is a fake. So I don't believe that his daughter is in distress like that. He's using this to sue to get more money. My thing is this, homie. Why would you sue over words? Your daughter is damn near 18 years old. Your wife is a grown woman. My family's in shambles. My family is in distress. I'm going to sue Corey for telling jokes. Now, if you got all this money, why would you want to sue over words? Do you really think somebody who's going to sue over words is willing to catch a fade in the streets? Come on, you guys, you got to use discernment. Use the common sense that God gave you if you can. Somebody who's willing to fist fight in the streets is not going to sue over words. And if you will sue over words, you will flag somebody over words.
If you put people online, it's coming. What Dion used to say, hey, we ain't hard to find. You put your wife on the internet, she's not hard to find. Now, I will say this. I have seen, in my head, maybe, if you call me, I think I'm right, but I have seen Anton's wife online, maybe when Anton's walking through an airport, he's walking on the street or something. I've seen her maybe 5 times, but I will tell you that I have never seen his daughter online. Somebody, let me know. Has he put his daughter online? I have never seen it. I didn't know he had a 17-year-old daughter. Damn sure didn't know she was going to the Olympics. Now, if I had a daughter who was going to the Olympics, I would tell you fuckers. I wouldn't show her, but I mean, as a dad, golly, you're supposed to keep that a secret? Some of y'all are saying y'all have never seen her, but then some of y'all are saying that you have. So I don't know. I can't trust some of y'all. Some of y'all be hating on Anton, but I've never seen the daughter, ever.
I think the word hate is being misused by a lot of people and cornballs and lames. And I'm not taking no shot at lead attorney, but a lot of corny people misuse the word hate. Calling Anton a hypocrite, which he is considered hate. Telling the truth is considered hate nowadays. Why do you think YouTube is so rainbow and PC? You can't say anything. It's always considered hate. The truth is now considered hate because you got these rainbow community members making these weak policies to where you can't say anything. You got to say unalive. You got to say allegedly, all this old weak stuff. Telling somebody the truth in 2026 is considered hate.
I mean, Blue says he has. I mean, Blue ain't gonna. Blue, he gonna call it straight. I will say, Blue will call it straight. He said 1,000 medals. All right, guys. Man, Anton is polarizing. He's like Trump, boy. Y'all love him or hate him. I've never seen him. But
I
what
blame
Blue
black
is saying,
people, right? All you got to do is have money and fame, and black people will forgive you for whatever you do. You know, character doesn't matter. If Anton was caught in bed with a white man, his fans will make a million excuses for why it doesn't matter because he has money. That's exactly what they would do. So all you got to do is have money and people will forgive you for whatever you do. Nobody cares about character. Nobody cares about who stands on business. It's all about popularity and money. And as long as you have popularity and money, people will forgive you for whatever you do. Anton said he don't talk to jailbirds, but he did a whole interview with Fleece Johnson. And then went on to say that Fleece Johnson is his dog. But according to Anton, he don't talk to jailbirds, but he platformed a whole sexual deviant, sexual predator, and a convict by the name of Fleece Johnson, who, by the way, flirted with him and told him he had a nice booty during the whole interview. But according to Anton, he don't engage in degenerate behavior. He don't promote degenerate people. He don't even have conversations with them. The man is clearly a hypocrite. He's fake. He's a phony. He's a fake Christian. No conservative man. Any man who claims to be a conservative Christian, a real one, would never platform somebody like Fleece Johnson. But see, Anton is willing to compromise his manhood and morality for money and YouTube fame.
it's true. If you bring your lady up all the time, You know, there's this one guy who I thought I was going to have to sue recently. And he talks about all the ass that he's getting. He talks about all he's a player and this and that. And then, he gets the finest women. And then what did he do? He brought his girl.
Damage and the impact, the cries that I had to hear,
If he hit a woman in the face, he might come out.
I want y'all to hear Anton pretending to be a victim. He went from talking gangster to now pretending to be a victim. How phony is that?
Oh no. Big shout out to Corey. Allegedly, I wasn't there. I just saw the video like y'all. But shit, not for some people, there's nothing out of bounds. There is no bounds. All right, let's go.
But I guess not. So my number one concern, and I'm gonna say this, and again, this is for all of the civil, awesome Black people out there and people in the United States of America that want to ensure that their children are protected. My number one goal is to always try to figure out how I can protect my underage child.
I can agree with that.
My underage child. That's all I care about. I could have never imagined in 1,000 years the psychological damage and the impact, the cries that I had to hear, Let
me just stand up for my man Corey for a second, because I just saw the little clip. Money Mar says technically she touched him first, though, so Corey was justified. Fair enough. Shout out to my man Corey. I just quickly saw the video. That whole thing could have been self-defense. So big shout out to Corey. Thank you, Money Mar, for correcting the record. I wasn't there. All right. Big shout out to Corey. He self-defense. All right, let's go.
My immediate
Let me say this to you guys. Messi used to be a moderator on Red Supreme TV1. The reason why you haven't seen her in the chat no more, well, this is before Red Supreme TV1 got terminated. She was cool with Anton Daniels, and I've been roasting Anton Daniels for the last 2 years. This is why you haven't seen her in my chat room. But guess what? I never removed her as a mod, and I never said anything bad about Messi. But enough is enough. I'm not going to listen. If you being phony, eventually I'm going to call you out for it. But Messi was a moderator on Red Supreme TV1. But once I started going in on her idol, Anton Daniels, listen, Messi stopped showing up in my chat when I started going in on Anton Daniels. Ever since then, you never seen her no more. But yes, she was a mod on TV1. She wanted to be cool with Anton Daniels so bad. Now, when I started roasting Anton, that's when she stopped showing up in my chat room. It all makes sense. Let's get back to the content, though.
And I'm going to say this, and again, this is for all of the civil, awesome Black people out there and people in the United States of America that want to ensure that their children are protected. My number one goal is to always try to figure out how I can protect my underage child.
I can agree with that.
My underage child. That's all I care about. I could have never imagined in 1,000 years.
Let me tell you this. Shout out to Dungeon. Anton calls everybody broke. If he gets into it with you right now, the first thing he's going to say is, you're broke. You're just hating on me because you're broke. He says that to everybody. That's not a flex. Everybody he gets into it for the most part, he's going to say that they're broke. Because what did I tell you guys earlier? Anton hides behind his money. Anytime he's held accountable for his character, he will hide behind his money because he knows the Black community will forgive him as long as he has success and money. He knows that. He studied the mentality of Black people too long to not understand that. He knows that you guys will forgive him for any and everything as long as he brags about his money and success. He's figured that out a long time ago. So he uses that to his advantage. Anytime he's held accountable for his character, he deflects and brings up his money. He's a coward who hides behind money so that he doesn't have to be held accountable for his true character. Come on, where's your thinking cat? Where's your antennas?
The psychological damage and the impact, the cries that I had to hear, you know?
Anton calls everybody broke, right? That's the point that I'm making. Whether it's true or not, he's gonna say, well, you're broke. But if you call him a rainbow community member, you know what he's gonna say? You're just hating because I have money. Anton, you let Fleece tell you had a nice booty. You're just saying that because you're hating because I have money. So no matter what you say about him, you can say something that's factual 100%. He's gonna say the only reason why you're saying that is because you're hating on him because he has money. So his money is the answer to every problem. No matter what you say about him, he's gonna mention money to deflect. And in the black community, we've allowed people like this to hide behind money so that their character ain't got to be on trial, so that their character don't have to be put on trial. He understands the mentality. He understands the mentality of black people. This is why he uses money to hide behind. You know, he hides behind his money to deflect from who he really is as a person. So he'll just say, "I got money. Whatever you say about me doesn't matter." If black people stood on business and say, okay, you got money, that's cool, but who are you as a person? If black people had that mentality, then fakes and frauds like him could never hide behind money. We'll hold them accountable for their true character. The black community has allowed people to hide behind money. And goofballs like this have taken full advantage of that.
Let me just stand up for my man Corey for a second, because I just saw the little clip. Money Mar says technically she touched him first, though, so Corey was justified. Fair enough. Shout out to my man Corey. I just quickly saw the video. That whole thing.
The quickest way to avoid accountability in the black community is to hide behind money. 100%.
Self-defense. So big shout out to Corey. Thank you, Money Mar, for correcting the record. I wasn't there. All right. Big shout out to Corey. He self-defense. All right, let's go.
My immediate concern was, oh my God, who do I call? But I couldn't call anybody because everything was closed at the time. So immediately pulling her out of school, immediately making sure that I go and assess the damage, trying to figure out if we're able to get her into the same competitions. Coming up, she literally just texted me probably less than 48 hours ago. All of the different competitions that she had lined up for this year. We were supposed to go to Great Britain. We were supposed to go to a lot of places.
My daughter is psychologically damaged because of Corey's jokes. I'm going to sue Corey. My daughter will never be the same because of Corey's jokes. I'm going to sue Corey and everything that he has. Yeah. My daughter is psychologically damaged. My family's in shambles over Corey's jokes. How lame and pathetic is this?
Damage and the impact. And I'm going to say this, and again, this is for all of the civil, awesome Black people out there and people in the United States of America that want to ensure that their children are protected. My number one goal is to always try to figure out how I can protect my underage child.
I can agree with that.
My underage child. That's all I care about. I could have never imagined in 1,000 years the psychological damage and the impact, the cries that I had to hear, you know?
Let me just stand up for my man Corey for a second, because I just saw the little clip. Money Mar says technically she touched him first, though, so Corey was justified. Fair enough. Shout out to my man Corey. I just quickly saw the video. That whole thing could have been self-defense. So big shout out to Corey. Thank you, Money Mar, for correcting the record.
Anton needed a bodyguard to go on the 5150 show. If Corey called me, I don't need no bodyguard to go to the 5150 show. Anton's a coward. That's why he needed a bodyguard. He knew somebody might whoop his feet. and apply heavy pressure. That's why he need a bodyguard to go to a podcast. Corey Holcomb ain't never backdoored nobody or had nobody set up. You don't need a bodyguard to go on Corey Holcomb's podcast. Anton is a weenie and he's scary. That's why he needed a bodyguard. And so all you people, oh, Anton, yeah, it's easy to talk greasy with a bodyguard behind you, an armed bodyguard at that. The fact that you gang Goofy Gilligans are impressed with that, it only proves how goofy you are. Took a bodyguard with him. That ain't impressive. Anybody can talk greasy with an armed bodyguard with him.
I wasn't there. All right. Big shout out to Corey. He self-defense. All right, let's go.
My immediate concern was, oh my God, who do I call? But I couldn't call anybody because everything was closed at the time. So immediately pulling her out of school, immediately making sure that I go and assess the damage, trying to figure out if we're able to get her into the same competitions. Coming up, she literally just texted me probably less than 48 hours ago. All of the different competitions that she had lined up for this year. We were supposed to go to Great Britain. We were supposed to go to a lot of places. I don't know if we can still do that. I don't know if that's possible. Because I don't know if she has the, their brain isn't even fully developed.
All right. And then, Tev is saying, no, she didn't touch him. She didn't touch him. Corey's wrong. She did touch him. Corey's wrong. She did touch him. Corey's right. I don't know. My big thing is don't sue me. Okay. I don't know. Was Corey in the right or in the wrong? I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to be. The point is, I don't want to be defaming. And we're going to talk about defamation. We're going to listen to about 2 or 3 more minutes of this. And then we're going to get into the legal perspective. But this is the type of care that you need to have. I saw.
If Anton will sue somebody for words, he will flag you for words.
A video that looked like Corey mushed some woman, but I cursory gave a glance to it. I don't know if it was self-defense. I don't know if Corey's in the wrong. So I'm not going to say Corey is an abuser. And I'm not going to say that Corey's an angel. All right? I don't know. All right. A lot of men would say, hey, man, if a woman touch you, you got to take the L on that. You can't punch her in the face. Some men live by a code. Some men will be in a street fight with you and bite your thigh. I don't know. Does Corey look like he lives by a code? He's talking about kids. Now, there is some, everybody's code is different because maybe he'll talk about kids, but it's clear he won't engage in backdooring. And I'm sure he could prove that his career, his livelihood has been stunted by his lack of participation in the backdooria. If he would have participated in backdooria, it could be the case that his career would be much further.
Shout out to LTTV. LTTV posted this about Anton. These are videos that obviously that he deleted, that he didn't want people to see. Let's get into this. Enough of the lead attorney. I heard enough.
Is be happy,
just to beat you.
People always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
you will never catch me. You will never be better than me, and I'm gonna make sure of it because
money is.
She ain't got nothing to say.
Y'all picked the wrong one this year. I'm gonna show you just how broke I am.
That my focus is not ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. Be successful in everything you do. What I'm saying is be happy. Focus on what fulfills you as a purpose.
All right, man. Enough of this, man. I think I've had enough of this. Of course, Messi is streaming. Let me tell you something, Messi. Get in the kitchen and make some potato salad and a sweet potato pie and some collard greens and some nice fried chicken for Sunday's dinner. Get off the internet. Stop being messy. You somebody's auntie, Messi. Get in the kitchen and make us a damn meal. Damn it. Get in that kitchen and make us a damn meal, Messi. If you wasn't gonna ask Anton any tough questions, don't interview him. You was a fan interviewing your idol. Anton said that he doesn't listen to jailbirds, right? But then he platforms of Fleece Johnson and he said Fleece Johnson is his dog. That is blatant hypocrisy. Clearly, that's hypocrisy. But Messi, not once did Messi say, hold on, Anton. You do listen to jailbirds. You just interviewed Fleece Johnson. And you said Fleece Johnson was your boy. Messi could have easily called Anton on his hypocrisy, but she's a fan, borderline groupie, so she's not going to do that. She's hoping that Anton would throw her a bone so that she can grow her platform. That's why she's not going to hold him accountable for anything. It's common sense. Anyway, man, I'm done with this. Hit the like button. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Show some love to the content. I appreciate you all for pulling up, man. I'm gonna give you I got like one more thing, and that's it. I think that's all I got. That's all I got. Messi, if you're listening, get in that kitchen and make me a potato salad, Messi. That's what you need to be doing. That's what you need to be doing. All this old gossiping, get in the kitchen and do what you do best. Make us some potato salad on a Sunday, damn it.
Don't turn on your notifications.
And don't put no damn raisins in that potato salad either, like them liberal white women. Give us some real potato salad, Messi. Get us some cornbread, some potato salad, some collard greens, and some fried chicken. Get your behind in that kitchen. Get your behind in that kitchen, Messi. And quit being messy on the internet. You somebody's grandmother. You somebody's auntie. Give us a Friday, not a Friday, a Sunday soul food meal. Yeah.
Let me read some of the super chats, and then is it possible that we can get to the regular show? Is it possible that we can get to the regular show? Okay, for people to go after underage children? And I'm surprised at the community as I'm reading this chat right now. I'm surprised at you guys.
Messi won't even call Anton out for being a fake Christian. If Anton believed in Christianity, there's no way he would platform a Fleece Johnson. Clearly, that goes against his Christian morals and values. So she didn't hold him accountable for being a fake Christian. She never held him accountable for being a hypocrite. I don't listen to jailbirds, but Anton platforms Fleece Johnson. Not once did she hold him accountable for anything. That was a weak interview. That was one of the worst interviews that I've ever seen. Nothing but softball questions. Not once did she hold him accountable or challenge him on anything. That interview was terrible.
I'm surprised at you guys. So wait a minute. Are you guys telling me
all right,
some
listen,
of you?
We're going to get up out of here, man.
Because I see the overwhelming majority of you are
yeah, we're gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. You know, Messi needs gossip for content. Apparently she does. This is where she thrives on social media, being a messy auntie, gossiping in everybody's business and grown man's business. Why don't you talk about what women are doing? Stick to that. You ain't got no damn business being over here in grown man's business. Get your behind in that kitchen and make us some potato salad, some collard greens, some sweet potato pie, and some damn fried chicken, damn it. Make yourself useful to the black community, Messi. Hey, man, peace to everybody that's been rocking with us. Make sure that you hit the like button. It ain't nothing. Shout out to my people for blessing the Cash App. You guys came through on the Cash App today for your boy, and I appreciate that. I'm going to get up out of here, you guys. Peace, love, and blessings on a Sunday. Maybe I'll give you guys a second stream later. If you guys really want that, I'll let you know. I'll post it in the tab to let you know if we're gonna go live later. But peace to everybody. I'm gone.